morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. It is Friday the 13th, and let's see what the market's doing today. It's actually not too bad. I thought it was going to be much more red. It was open more red, and then Microsoft, NVIDIA, Apple are kind of pulling up a little bit. So how is everybody this morning? Let's see what's going on. All information presented here is for educational information purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and here we go with the heat map. That's your Friday 13th heat map right there, everybody. So let's see what is going on with the spies and the Qs, because the spy is down a little bit. It does not look perfect. It could be dipping down right there a little bit more. And then your Qs right here were down a little bit, obviously, this morning. And they are dipping down a little bit more. So we'll be watching. You can see that could be your bottom area. We'll have to watch for this area today, around 597 on your Qs. So we'll be keeping an eye on that to see if that wants to hold up. But that doesn't look like it's beautiful. And IWM hitting that support line right there this morning, but kind of going through it as well. And looks like that could go dipping some more. So very interesting right there. How about gold? It is up, but does not look good. Silver's up a little bit, but does not look good either. So they look like they're going to be coming down as well right there. So that is what they look like. And what else are we going to check out real quick? We'll go through our list and see what's happening here with our Mag 7 and big caps and all them. First, let's look at the news and see what happened there. OpenAI and I think that's how you say it, battle in the political arena. And it's been a software horror show. Here's why. It could get even scarier, according to Citi. And again, we have CPI this morning. Stocks edge lower before CPI. Tech sell-off eases. NAI phobia and stock futures slip as traders await big consumer inflation report. Good morning, Janica. How are you today? And I guess people are seeing it on the stream because more people are hopped on this morning. And so that's a good thing. Maybe StreamYard's fixing the issue there. That would be nice. But let's keep on cruising right through. We were talking about that, and I hit them up, but it looks like people are hopping on today. So that's a good sign. And let's see what is happening elsewhere in the market right here. So let's go through our Mag 7, see what's going on. JDZG, I did see this thing. That's at China one, a Giat or whatever it is. We've looked at it many a times. That was jumping up there. And CRSR right there. I'm not sure what Corsair Gaming. That's a computer hardware one. That was cruising. And Rhyme right here. Luis Rodriguez mentioned that last night. Rivian jumped up right there on its earnings. NELOG was up a little bit there. So there's a couple good ones that were jumping. Roku right there running up. Let's check that out, and then we'll go right into our Mag 7. Roku right here. Look at that bad boy jumping up. That looks pretty good, as a matter of fact. So you can keep an eye on that. It's getting through that resistance and hitting the 20 right there and curling up really hard. So we'll keep an eye on Roku. And let's see what our Mag 7 is doing this morning. Apple is down just a little bit. It took a big old sell-off yesterday. And Amazon's continuing its way down right there. Let's see. Google was down a little bit this morning. It's still down a little bit more. And it's still going to kind of just draw down a little bit there as it bottoms out. Meta, maybe our bottoms are today, hopefully. Let's see. And that is Microsoft still pulling back. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty cheap down here. Look at that. That's like way down here. Look at that. That's before the market started running, like in April prices for Microsoft. That's crazy right there. So that could be a great opportunity. And NVIDIA right here had been pulling back right there. And let's see, it looks like it could, man, that one's an interesting one, huh? It did pull back under, it couldn't get through the resistance, but it's staying above the 20 and 50. So I'll look at it today as it goes on. And obviously, I think the market conditions kind of tell us what it's going to do there. Tesla right here pulling back some more. And we'll have to watch and see what Tesla is up to. And then your AMC right here, just kind of flat after it's been pulling back. GameStop's down a little bit, and that's been pulling back. It's under the 20 again. So we'll have to watch. And then Chewy and Unity been pulling back there. Well, Unity had run up and then pulled back big time, pulled back even more, and it's still way down there. So Netflix has been pulling back. It's still down there and not ready. And then PSKY to Paramount, that's up there, but that also had a nice little pullback yesterday. And then Warner Brothers right here, WBD, is down as well. So All three of them are down, but Warner Brothers looks really good there. That's the hot chick everyone's fighting over. That's for sure. Let's look at some semiconductors right here. And AVGO is pulling back. MU is down more today. So that looks like it could roll down a little bit. We're going to have to see how these set up. TSM had hit its all-time highs and pulled right back down. That was pretty crazy there, Luis Rodriguez. And SMCI, let's see, because that one had appeared to get set up, and then it pull back with the rest of the market. So you are seeing some crazy action here, and we'll have to track it down today and really wait until next week. But obviously, that CPI. Thoughts on CPI? Gorgo 1252. You know what? It's so hard to tell on these things right now. I have no idea what is going to happen. I know it comes out at 8:30. Um, by the looks of the market, this is what I gauge everything on, Goro and Gorgo. I mean Gorgar, I think it is. By the gauge of the market and the charts right here, I think you could try to bounce back a little bit, but we are underneath support lines. And I think that look at that pretty big dip right there on your SPY. So I think it could be a decent reaction. Whatever the inflation is, the CPI report, I don't know what's got to come in like not hot or something like that. So inflation's got to be kind of cooled off for it to go up. I don't know. Does anyone think inflation's really cooled off though? I mean, do you see the prices of everything? The prices are insane. I mean, everything is just absolutely insane. Yeah, it's definitely a guessing game. About an hour, we'll find out. That's for sure. I'm just trying to gauge it off the charts. They do kind of look like they could be bottom there after yesterday's sell off, but you could easily keep going down. So it's definitely a coin toss to me, Gorgo. I really can't even tell. I'm not gonna lie. It's like so hard, but we know that the market's gonna react. Whatever happens, that's the way the market's gonna be for today. And that's more or less what we're looking at too. And trying to figure it out. And that's what I try to do. I try to figure it out. It's such a coin flip on this one. But I do think the markets, you know what? They look like they could bounce, but they do look like they're going to dip. That doesn't look like it really wants to curl up anywhere yet. It either did the SPY. It's still early at 7 though. I'll look at it. Oh, never mind because the CPI comes out at 8:30. So it's going to react straight off of that. I don't know. I think it might dip more, to be honest. That's if I had to guess, I would say I think it would dip more, but I mean, I don't think it will though. Like, you know what I mean? The chart looks like it should, but for some reason, crazy things in this market always happen. When it looks like it wants to dip real hard, they seem to bounce, and when they want to go up, they seem to dip real hard. So that's why I'm just saying I think they want to go down, but at the same time, this market is so wild that you could get a crazy bounce off of it because it's just so volatile and all over the place. So that is I'm gonna wait until obviously because I'm not gonna be able to get any options before it. So yeah, I was just kind of waiting and seeing how to market. Now, if it's good, it should be if it's cool and the CPI report comes out good, then I would imagine the market's going to get ripping today, and then it'll be a green day. But I can't even promise that because this market's so volatile and all over the place. As a matter of fact, look at crypto right here. I mean, it's at 66. It's right under 67,000, and it just keeps stair-stepping itself down right there. And like I had said, I didn't think it was ready. It's making that really good curl. I mean, that's going through. When that gets there, it's going through, guys. That's not bouncing off the MACD. So is that the bottom? Well, that was definitely your bottom right there. When it got all the way down to that crazy number down there at 59K, that was absolutely your bottom. It's making a base here. It has been leveling itself down. Usually Bitcoin makes more of a flat base, as you can see. But it is coming down, but it's making that super crazy curl up too. So I do think Bitcoin's going to get rocking and rolling as it gets approaching. I mean, you can see it on Ethereum too. That's a cross through right there. That doesn't look like it's going to get rejected. And either does Ripple. Ripple doesn't really look like it wants to get rejected. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but if I'm betting man, I'm saying they're going through the MACD on that look. That's how they look to me, and they all have the exact same look. I mean, Doge is like right there. Look at it; it's ready to get cruising, guys. So I don't think that they're going to get stopped off of that. And Oh, I meant to go back to Bitcoin. But the one thing that I had been looking at was that it was making this crazy big curl up, but it kept getting rejected. That was the roll off right here. It keeps rolling down. It's not going to roll off the MACD and go back into the basement. It was just kind of taking its time and getting this big old setup going. So I think Bitcoin could get really ripping right here, guys. So keep an eye on that. Could be a great opportunity right there. To be honest with you, it does look really good. And again, our CPI report comes out in about an hour and 15 minutes, and I have no idea what that thing is going to do. It is so weird looking right there. But let's go ahead and see what else is going on. We were looking at some of our semiconductors right there, and I think I just went sideways. I don't even know what I did, but QCOM right there down a little bit. We'd called that the other day, and snow is coming down a little bit more. And let's see. And again, that kind of looks like it could be trying to bottom out right there to go reverse back up. PayPal looks like it could be way down there to try to reverse back up. So it is very interesting right there to tell you the truth about the CPI report, just based off the charts, because they do look like they want to dip even more. So, I base everything off of that. And I don't know. It just is a coin flip. You're ready to catch some leaps on Google if it dips to 300. So yeah, Luis Rodriguez. I think people are intending possible dip right here, and I mean, like I said, it could definitely go either way. If I had to say, I think it wants to go down. I just could picture a bounce happening because weird things happen in the market. So that's why I was saying that, but it looks like it wants to go down to me anyway. And let's see, Dell right here, that went down yesterday. It's trying to rebound, but not perfect. It looked way better before. IBM, look at that huge dip right there. Holy cow. And then your Palantir right here is dipping down as well, hitting a little support line. Oh, I meant to hit Sophie right there, and that was down as well. But Robinhood, that is up a little bit, but again, that doesn't look that great. It had earnings the other day, and it came down. Coinbase, look at that, trying to bounce up. Now, again, guys, if crypto is starting to look that good, look at Coinbase right there. That does look pretty good. I think your bottoms are getting in on these guys. Robinhood as well. That looks like it's having a good curl right there. And Weeble's way down. And look at that curl. Like, I mean, that thing wants to rocket off of there, it looks like. So it doesn't want to go back in the basement for a reason, because this wants to get popping. We've seen this pattern twice last year, you said, huh? So, let me see what else, and I'll go through the messages real quick. And space right here down a little bit. Boeing right there was down as well. But that, I mean, look at that setup happening right there. So Boeing, catch the dips on it because it will be going up. DJT is curled down, but that's making a nice little setup. And I do think we're going to absolutely wait for CPI today and next week to really see how the market opens, because again, it's a 3-day weekend. So be careful holding anything over this 3-day weekend. You know what's going to happen on 2-day weekends, and let alone a 3-day weekend. So yeah, definitely beware of that, and make sure that's in your game plan. That's part of your plan today. Is it's a 3-day weekend. The market's closed on Monday. McDonald's pulling back a little bit right there. And how about Disney right there? And Luis Rodriguez's family's over in Disney. They're waking up this morning there. Oxy right there pulling back some more. And let's see what DXYZ is up to. It's up a little bit. ExxonMobil down a little bit more. And CVX is down as well. So that is what you're seeing in the market right there. And let me see, what do you guys want to look at real quick? We were talking about the CPI, and if Google dips down real hard right there, and again, you could possibly get a good flush on a lot of things. Look at Google at 307. You could see it for sure, Luis Rodriguez. I mean, it's definitely not out of the question. And I mean, look at that 20 coming down. That could get into the basement right there. I mean, everything looks crazy. The whole market looks a little odd as the CPI is coming out in an hour and 15 minutes. So definitely be watching for some dip opportunities, everybody. And you think the second leg pullback will be resolved by the end of next week, and then we'll look back and at this opportunity as a gift. I agree. That's why I think it's going to happen too. And so yeah, I think this is a nice little pullback right here, and it could be a nice gift. Luis Rodriguez, you're absolutely right. That now looks better now. Cadence right here. Look at that thing. That's getting curled up. That does look good. That looks like it could go through today. And keep on cruising. Look at that thing. Yeah, keep an eye on that now. I'm going to jot that down right now, as a matter of fact, so that we can keep an eye on that, Sam. And every day you sell your MU calls before the close, and it gaps up the next day. Last night you held them, and it gapped down. That's crazy, Sam. Right? That's my life right there. That's why I mean you just got to stick to that plan, right? Because it's the minute you don't, does it not humble you every which way, Sam? This market, it's like, oh yeah, look, it looks good right there. Every single day it gaps up until the one day you hold it, and then it gaps right down big time. It's like, what the hell just happened? Why didn't I sell it yesterday and stick to my game plan? Because it looked good, and then I went against it, and then it just humbled me. It happens every single time. I don't even understand it, Sam. Why does the market know that every single time? It's like a fortune teller or something. It knows how to humble you every time you go off your game plan or just try to get out of your lane. It's like there to it's like the automatic driving now. It just like puts you right back into your lane. It's crazy. It's so weird how it works, but it definitely does. It's part of that mindset and everything else. How about Kinsey right here? It was moving yesterday, Doge Mom and I remember we saw it on the scanner, was it? I forget. It is up right there. It has a look like it does want to get cruising, doesn't it? I must say, it does look like it wants to go. Yeah, look at that thing. But at the same time, I mean, I definitely play it today. Doge Mama 9, watch for them pullbacks right there. Anytime it can really pull back down here, look for it down here, wherever that is, in that 23 cent area. And you might get it down there and get a nice little pop back up on it. But I probably wouldn't hold it over the weekend just based off the 3-day weekend thing. I mean, this still does look good, but at the same time, could roll off the MACD. We know how these things work. Penny stocks are kind of crazy. So we definitely know we have to be in and out. Let's put it that way. But yeah, that's not looking bad right there. I can't say it looks bad. There's a couple other ones we were supposed to look at this morning, like Mask right here. That's down a little bit. It looked like it was like spiking up right there. That's today. At some point, it's no, that was last night. I'm not even sure what that's doing. Isn't that today? No, yeah, that's today's date. I'm not even sure. Mask looks crazy this morning. I have no idea what that's up to. It looks like it ran up at some point. Yes, a little bit there at some point this morning and pulled back. I don't know what that wants to do, but Turb right here, this one didn't look too bad and it's just flat right there. We'll have to see how that wants to go because it's not moving yet. And then that Hims right here was looking quite interesting in the basement going into its earnings next week. Oh no, they're in 2 weeks of February 23rd. That was a Monday in 2 weeks from now. So that is Hims right there, and that is at the bottom. So that'll be a good one for next week to keep an eye on. That's for sure. Let's see what else is happening here. Oh yeah, these healthcare ones weren't too bad. They're down a little bit, UNH, but not looking too bad right there. Look at that curl up. And again, I wouldn't be holding it over the weekend, but it doesn't look too bad right there. MOH is just looks like that's getting set up as well. So keep an eye on that. Oscar right there down a little bit. Here's that ZSL. It's down that silver short, and silver's up a little bit, but doesn't look good. And gold's up, but that doesn't look good either. So it's really, really weird right there. That Dust and J Dust are obviously down, and Nug and J Nug are obviously up, but they don't look good right at the moment. It's really weird right there. And then your SQQQ is also up a little bit right there. It's more or less flat. That's your Q short. And TLT is kind of hanging out there. That's your treasury bonds right there. And that looks pretty good. Yeah, it's such a weird look right here, guys, this morning. Everything's all over the place. How about Adobe? That's That's another one that looks like it should be trying to move real soon. McDonald's is still running up, not bad right there. KXIN, that China small cap, is down a little bit, and SRXH, that one was an interesting one, jumping up yesterday. And what about Instacart? Maple Bear is the company name. Look at that one. That wasn't that jumping up yesterday or something from the earnings for CART. And there you go. Well, yeah, I think so. That's the 12th. Where's today's date? I don't even know where it went. What the heck happened to it? I have no idea. Anyway, I'll look at it over here. That is today's date. That's what I thought. I think it was running yesterday because we were looking at it. I was talking about Maple Bear. I was like, why is the name of it Maple Bear? I had no clue why, but that's what that's doing. And now looking really good right there. Who else? That Cadence? Yeah, Cadence said that, asked about that one. Larry, how are you this morning? And TM, let's see. Oh, look at TM pays $1.58 quarterly dividends there, everybody. Pay attention to that. And who do we have on last night? Chris, that was his name. Chris in Costa Rica, right? Or not Costa Rica. Where the hell was Colombia? Chris in Colombia. And that was a lot of fun. We went to Colombia last night, everybody. If you want to learn about Colombia, and we got to set up Michael Anthony over and send them over there so they can trade their dividends. They can load up on Toyota Motor too. That's a good one. Like I said, my Pepsi pays a good dividend. They were talking about cheap ones, but Chris was talking about the currency so much better to exchange over in Colombia that you can get dividends and make a bunch of money on them. It's kind of crazy, guys. I think the lead is on his way over there. As a matter of fact, he packed his bags last night and he's on a flight to Colombia as we speak. And so anyway, there's Toyota Motor. It is jumping up right there. And been on vacation. Hope you're doing well. Well, nice, Larry. There you go. Enjoying your vacations and be sure to enjoy that. Netflix way down right there. We were talking about it this morning, and apparently they're fighting over the hot chick again, and Warner Brothers. That actually looks pretty good. But then you got PSKY or Paramount, and they are stepped back into the Netflix drama. So I don't know what's going on with them. Every time Netflix looks good, Paramount comes out and says that they're somehow going to buy Warner Brothers and do something, and then the stock goes down. We'll look at it today and see if we can figure out what it wants to do for next week, or more or less probably look at it for next week is probably the better idea, Larry. Like I said, I don't know if you really want to hold anything, especially like a Netflix over the weekend. Who the hell knows what's going to happen again? And guys, keep your eyes on that Iran situation too, because I kind of feel like that could happen sooner than later. You see USO and stuff pulling back. Lockheed Martin and our aerospace and defense ones have been pulling back a little bit as well right here. Huntington Ingalls down a little bit, but they could get really set up really quick. You can see they had a pullback for a reason. And I know Trump and is talking, and what is his name? Nitin. I don't even know. I don't remember anyone saying this. It's so bad that I can't just like pronounce and remember anyone's name, like the dude that the prime minister in Israel, whatever the heck his name is. And I know they're talking and stuff, so they're keeping it on the DL, and I think they're gonna have a plan going, and they're just gonna wipe out Iran one day. So I think we're gonna wake up, and Iran's gonna be a different place. It's gonna be a big celebration. They're gonna just take them out completely, and it's gonna be shit you'd never seen. Like, who did they capture? Was it Venezuela, that guy or whatever? I think we see something way more high tech than that. Like everybody goes, whoa, we have that kind of technology, because they were using crazy technology over there. They were using like sound waves and stuff to knock the people out. I mean, they threw like a sonic boom, and like everybody over there, like all the guards and everybody were just like throwing up and just knocked out completely. And the US soldiers were just like machines. They just went through and just were like knocking down like big steel armored doors, and it was crazy. Like they had the explosives to just blow these things right apart, and yeah, they were in and out in like 20 minutes. It's crazy what they do. It's wild. So yeah, I think we're gonna see something even more next level, and And that's what, because I think we're teaming up, and I think Israel takes kind of the lead too. And it's a joint effort. And you guys know, if Israel and America are doing something together, that shit's going to be so high tech crazy. It's gonna blow everybody away, and everybody at that moment is going to be like, "All right, that's game over right there," because we cannot even come close to messing with that kind of technology. Nobody can see it, and it's going to put China and Russia in their places real quick. And I think it's going to change everything. So that's what I think's about this. You're going to see this happen soon, guys. I thought it would already happen, but Trump is just fooling everybody. I'm telling you, he's got this. He's already made his decision weeks ago, and that's the. I thought that was the old what you call it, the bets for the Iran. But yeah, strikes by Iran. I'm telling. Oh, well, that then. When will not Gaza? Here's the strikes on Iran, right here. But yeah, oh, they even have a little chart right there. No strike by February 20th. So they're saying by like the end of the month, uh, there's no strike. Look at that. So like I said, I somehow think that he may fool the entire world right here, everybody off guard. When you see the betting odds not knowing what's going to happen, you kind of have everything fooled. And that's what they need to do right here to pull off what they're going to pull off. We've talked about this before. I think we're getting a lot closer to seeing it happen, guys. So I do think we're going to wake up one morning. It could be over this weekend. It could be any time, but it's going to happen. They're going to go in and they're going to take out Iran. Iran's going to be a different place. Trust me. It's going to be completely different. And just wait for it to happen. And that's going to change everything. USO, all these things. Oil's going to be ripping, gold, all that stuff. Things are going to be ripping because Iran's going to end up being a freed country where they can now use and we'll be trading with them again. I think you're going to see some crazy things happening really, really soon. I think that's why the market is so jittery and all over the place. I think something major setting up to happen. So we'll see, and I think it's going to happen in Iran, to be completely honest with you. So that is what I see happening on this 3-day weekend. And like, I don't know if it's happening this weekend, but it is getting close, I think. And that's why, again, I think we're seeing this market just all over the place, and it's a complete fake out right here, guys. There's something major going down, and then you can't even see it on like the stock chart, but you can tell by the way the market runs. I keep having my red flag out for a reason. I can't pinpoint what's going on, and I don't think anything can pinpoint it. I just think that's some kind of mission right here where they got everything fooled. It's not getting leaked to nobody, and yeah, they're gonna pull off something crazy. So we'll see what happens. I think that's why you're seeing Bitcoin all getting set up again. Look at these things getting set up too after these big drawdowns. Um, I don't know. Something weird's going on here. You see your silver and gold going down. Your Bitcoin wants to curl up. What I forget what the copper ones are that we look at. I was trying to remember the other day, but these aren't the ones. I totally forget. I'll have to look up the copper sector and see which ones are in the copper. But yeah, I wanted to look at that because it's kind of weird when that runs too, or like runs the same as gold and silver. It shouldn't really. And they've been doing that lately. So it is weird there. And yeah, we were talking about Colombia. Despite the hot chicks, Michael Anthony's reservations about the peso. Yeah, you're not kidding. And you don't think yeah, Michael Anthony's brushing up on his pickup lines right now. He's getting ready to go to Colombia. You're not kidding, Luis Rodriguez. That was a great show last night, guys. If you missed that, you gotta listen. We have a listener, Chris from Colombia. He's my age. He's 45. He lives there. He's a single dude, and he was telling us all about Colombia. It was fascinating. You gotta, and we're gonna talk to him some more. I have more questions about Colombia, but we're gonna set Michael Anthony up. They can both go down there and trade dividends and have a good old time. Michael Anthony, I think, was getting pretty excited. He was like, "Hey, what about me?" I'm like, "Michael Anthony, you're already late. I've been trying to set you up with this. Didn't you realize I told you that?" I immediately thought of Michael Anthony going down there to have a good time. So there you go. Let's set that up and make it happen. I'll have to go down to Colombia to film this because it's going to be one hell of a show right there. Seeing Michael Anthony and Chris hanging out in Colombia and trading dividends. So that's what we did last night, and we were having a good old time. Yeah, we'll see what the market wants to do right here. We'll look at the SPY cues real quick before we hop off. and they are down, and we're waiting. We have about an hour right here, so we'll see what's happening. And you're hearing market may bottom third week in May in time to rally towards midterms. It's a thought, and that cadence, it's a really good thought right there. That's why I do think we're seeing these drawbacks. All this stuff's happening right now because I've said this before. The market has to be ripping by summertime. Like you're talking like you said what, May? I would say like yeah, June, July, August, September, and then October. It absolutely has to be for like 4 or 5 months, be out of its mind, an entire quarter. So you got to have 4 to 5 months, really, a quarter's 3 months. But I think you're going to have a little time and to really get that cruise in there. And then, yeah, I agree. I think they have to have it ripping to try to do anything if they want to win the midterm. So, of course, that's the game plan, Caden. So, if you're going to be pulling anything off that's going to dip the market, you want to do it right now at the beginning of the year. And that way you can recoup it by the summertime before it gets to summer and then get it ripping. So yeah, you bring it down to get it back up there. So yeah, I agree. I could see it. And that's why I'm saying I could see it pulling back right here as well. And I could see something crazy going on in Iran too. So I would keep my eyes to all of them things. So yeah, good observation, Cadence. I agree with you. And Michael Anthony's pacemaker skipped the beat with all the hot chick talk last night. You're not kidding, Luis Rodriguez. He didn't know what. He was like, what do they make? How do I get these great? His head was ready to explode. It was great. And you mean Columbia is cool and all, but have you ever been to Nebraska in the winter? That's hilarious. Say, oh, are you kidding? We're all packing our bags and coming there next, Sam. So I hope you have plenty of room for us. We'll be trading dividends in your living room. But anyway, that's a great time right there. We'll pick back up on our Columbia talk next week. And again, don't forget 3-day weekend, guys. So remember that and make sure that you keep it in your Rolodex for today because you're going to need to remember by the end of the day. And all information presented here is for educational information purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Kate and Sam, Luis Rodriguez, and Larry, and Doge Mama 9, and everybody else. Gore to Gore. What was it? Gore to Gore 1252 or something like that. Yeah, and you were hanging out, and everyone else there. I greatly appreciate it. Robin's driving to work, and Joseph Levy's probably waking up in pain there. So hopefully he's recouping pretty well. That was a pretty major surgery. So there you go, guys. I'll keep you guys posted in the Discord of what's going on. But I think it more or less relies on the CPI in an hour. So just keep an eye on that, and then we'll go from there. If the market changes around, it'll probably be a pretty good day. If it stays red, it'll probably keep going down today. So that is what I see happening, and that is what's going on. So thanks again, everybody. Enjoy your day. Trade smart. Lock in those profits. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later, and have a great day, everybody.